Hi everyone and welcome to 16 Figure Focus, and you're watching episode number 58 of The Focus, a live stream dedicated to all things 16 scale related, that's the word I'm looking for. Alright, so I haven't made videos over the last few days, so what I'm going to do today is do a little bit of a kind of roundup, a bit of a catch up as to what kind of announcements and releases we've had in the 16 scale community. A lot of this stuff you've probably heard multiple other content creators, collectors and channels speak about. I'm just kind of going to give a quick look at them all and just give my take on it. So probably go for about an hour and that'll be it. Keep it kind of short and sweet. Alright, let's see who do we have in the chat. Shout out to the 11 people who are watching live now currently. If you want to just kind of chime in and let me know if there's any of the kind of items that are on the thumbnail if it's interesting to you or not. So you got Payden23, channel member, thanks very much for being here, greatly appreciated. We got Ash Chase all the way from Australia, I believe. What's up, plastic crackheads? He's not wrong. We got Ryan Smith from the UK, massive Dark Knight collector, so he's fine by me. We have H and Silver Fox. Ian, how are you doing? Really good episode of Visions with Ian there over a week ago. We're definitely going to get him back on the Hope Show if he wants to accept that invite whenever it returns. It's going to be on hiatus for the next few weeks because I'll be traveling, but yeah, looking forward to coming back. The English Gentleman, haven't seen you around here. Well, you're very welcome. Thanks for the support. Mike Fayala, hey everyone in Focus, did you see Thena was released? I can't wait to get her. I don't know if you're being serious or not, because I think there's a lot of people who actually don't particularly want that figure based on the Eternals, but if it's for you, that's cool. I'm glad you're excited for it. It's very hard to see if you're serious or not, though. You're kind of like shiny sometimes, Mike. It's hard to tell if people are serious or not. So you got Collector Joey. How are you doing? Channel member, greatly appreciate support. Collector Joey had an episode of Visions there a few weeks back as well. And X-Men Supreme, another dedicated member of the 16 Figure Focus ranks. Thinking of talking about the 16 Figure Focus ranks, we're just going to give a shout out to everyone. So we're going to start off and we've got our members. So there's 2 tiers in channel membership. If you're interested in becoming a channel membership for additional kind of exclusive perks, you can become a trooper or a commander. All that detail of the additional perks is in the community tab of the YouTube channel. And also there is a link pinned in the description. It's pinned comment there in the live chat. So who are the people that keep the lights on? So we got the troopers first of all. We've got Mugwump, Stephen Rinks, we got Mike, we got Payden23 who's in the chat, we got Chuli, we got Bendu Windu, Collector Joey who's also in the chat, Ryan Smith who's also in the chat, thank you very much for your support. And we got the commanders as well, we got Alan, the 6 scale gallery, X-Men Supreme who is in the building at the moment. We have Michael, the 12-inch Moose Stream, we got Philip the Fool, we got Keith, the 6 scale Padawan, Mark Mitchell, William Owens, Brandon Salad, Empire Strikes Again, Phil, Collecting Weekly, they're a big deal, people know them. And we got Boba Fettuccini. So I suppose we'll just very briefly touch on the new videos. This is out of sync. Maybe in 1 second now, let's see if this is right or not. Yeah, it doesn't make a difference. I'm not going to waste your time. Thought I'd updated this, but yeah, I know what version this is. So we got Shit Collectors Say episode 5. We've got the thoughts on Nebula. Spoiler review on The Flash, IG-12, and thoughts on Moon Knight. Oh no, I did update it. Yeah, I thought it was there somewhere. So, just in case you're wondering what we're going to be talking about today, I understand that these have probably been... There's videos out there, there's numerous different streamers who've been talking about this already, but I've been away for the last few days and haven't got a chance to make content. I'm just back, so I wanted to just weigh in and just give my thoughts on some of these pieces. So we have Athena from the Eternals, we got Doc and Marty from Back to the Future 3, everyone's favourite Back to the Future movie, and we've got Indy in the upcoming newest, everyone's favourite Indiana Jones movie. So we got a mixed bag, we got some good head sculpts here, we've got some characters which I don't think people will really care about, and then we've got, you know, 2 cowboys from Back to the Future 3. Half the chat's probably after disappearing now. Am I wrong? Okay. I think it's safe to say that Back to the Future 3, if you got the majority of people to rank the movies, Back to the Future 3 would be in the majority of people's third choice. But I still enjoyed it. I actually quite like the Western one. I still think it's a nice way of tying up the trilogy. Although I think Back to the Future is probably the second one is probably the one I'd choose first. So yeah, we're going to talk about Athena, Doc, Marty, and Indy, and then we'll call it a night. So I'll talk about the new streams another time. So first of all, let's talk about Thena. I think I called her Athena, which is incorrect. It's just Thena. She actually says that in the movie, which I watched once. Usually when I watch a movie once, that's me of saying, I'm not going to dedicate another 2 hours of my life watching that movie because I didn't think it was worth the 2 hours in the first place. And again, there's no hate or shade there. If you're into it, that's cool. There's a few shots in it I actually quite liked. I can't remember the name of the character that all the Eternals are working for, this big space giant guy. His shots when he appeared at the end, I thought they were pretty cool. It's funny though how I don't think any other MCU property has mentioned the giant humanoid shaped mountain that's like coming out of the sea though. Hoping that will come full circle at some point, but I'm just going to catch up with the chat before I give my thoughts on Thena from the Eternals. So we got Mike Fail, of course I'm serious. It's Angie. I suppose you're a big Angelina Jolie fan. You might not like what I have to say about this, Mike. But like we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Art subjective. So Tragedy Tales. Hope you're doing well on this fine Thursday. Absolutely. Shout out to the 24 people who are watching. I really appreciate it. Shane, Mike is serious. He was giving me grief for not getting it. He's giving you abuse. He's trying to enable you, was he? Collector Joey, Visions is so fun. I appreciate that, Joey. I appreciate you taking the time for coming on. Yeah, the chat was great actually. It was just likewise, like most of the guests actually. It's just really easy just to have that conversation. And there were 1 to 2 hour shows that could be a lot longer, but I suppose we have to stop sometimes. Ryan Smith, Indy's coming home. If we don't get a young version, we'll wait until the release though. Action in the Box. I believe Action in the Box is from Brazil. Would that be correct? Let me know if I've got that right. David is saying Sage Indy is a pass. David, strong follower of the channel, always comment on the videos and the live chats and stuff like that. Rained on my parade there about 2 weeks ago, and he told me that he wasn't a fan of the new Dark Knight quarter scale. So I'm worried now. I'm worried about when I get it in hand if I like it, because yeah, I'm invested in that one. But I do appreciate the feedback, David. We got Chuli. Is my sound okay? Can you hear the music in the background? Is the music too loud? Can you just hear it in the background? Am I coming through okay? Is the mic popping? Let me know what the sound is like. X-Man Supreme, Dave. Man, I wasn't going to get Moon Knight, but seeing the reviews changed my mind. So I have a dope idea to display with Mr. Knight. Hope you're getting that Mr. Knight with the third party really awesome Oscar Isaac head sculpt. That was so impressive, especially for a third party. We got Mike, another person who is on Visions, strong follower of the channel, and I think of it, a good friend at this stage. Thanks very much, Mike, for being in the building. Again, of course, channel member as well. We got Chudy from Texas, got Vision and the Geonosis battle droids in today. Good stuff, congratulations. I actually unboxed a few things myself as well. See if I can go full screen. Alright, so that'll be Besman Luke. Now, the base is not lit up yet, but that's the next project I have to work on. I probably won't get a chance until after holidays, but there's something else as well. Oh yeah. And that would be live action Ahsoka. I gotta say, those elbows, I'm nervous about moving them because I've heard so many horror stories about people who literally have got that figure, opened it up, bent the elbows, bang, and the whole arm comes off. And I can see why. The elbow joints are extremely stiff on the one that I have. So I was very careful posing it, and as a minimum pose, I've actually got CCFLs, the white CCFLs from R15 Custom on the way for her. That'll be a big day because I think that will set that figure off. So I gotta find a natural pose. I'm not gonna do anything mad with those arms. I want to find a natural pose that when you look at her going, yeah, that's exactly how she would stand, like, or that's a natural looking pose for her. Shout out to the 32 people. People People are coming in. Really do appreciate that. So yeah. Oh, and an update actually. The fusion reactors that I ordered, the two that kind of broke, the eye for cable and the eye for DX13. See the way I point to the eye as well, just so you know, like, you know what an eye is like. Not sure why I was doing that, but the DX13 eye still doing it, and that cable. So I'd order fusion reactors, but unfortunately they were proving a bit hard to get in, or as I didn't have any problems with the fusion reactor kits from the Mark 6 and the Mark 1 War Machine. Absolutely love them. It just gets me every time you come in, just click that button, they come on. But yeah, they reached out to Fusion, and in fairness to him, he made a brand new ones and they're on their way. I got the tracking for them a few days ago, so that's customer service at its finest. Calvin, aka the Low-Key Collector, he basically told me that's exactly how it's going, because he's a strong fan of the CCFLs and the fusion reactor kits, and he was saying that, like, if that happens, he will sort you. So it's not just content creators then or everything. Calvin had an issue as well and he sorted him with that. So I suppose just good customer service goes a long way. So Mike Fela, that pick is fire. What am I missing? What are you talking about, Mike? I have no idea what you're talking about. Oh, is it just is it the one that's up? Oh, right, sorry. That's what you're talking about. Okay, that's what you're talking about, sorry. Ash fell asleep. During Eternals, I'd say. Or maybe it's Back to the Future. He's saying for me, Back to the Future 2 is my favourite. Eternals was a chore. Yeah, Copper, you were not late. You were right on time. You're like Gandalf. We only started 5 minutes ago. So there was a news article, Easter egg in She-Hulk, about that celestial island. So I think that's the only other reference though. Like, surely something more should be happening. Tremble Dust in the building. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Appreciate it. Excellent. We got some feedback. Yomo is in the building as well. Yeah, okay. I get this. Straight out of the film. All right, you're blocked. Good stuff. All right. Ahsoka. Some men just don't know how to treat a lady. I don't know, man. A lot of those elbows were breaking. I did feel for people, because a lot of people trending like me, you might be based it your order on the strength of her Mandalorian episode, which was just fantastic. And yeah, like I hate seeing, even with the DeLorean, like, I mean, I didn't order that, but like, it just sucks when people have invested massive amounts of money in anything, and then it comes and it's not right. Like that DeLorean, it kind of broke my heart when I was watching, like, you know, people, my friends and stuff like that in the collector communities were really excited about it, and then there was problems with the lights, and there was problems with the conversion mechanism and stuff like that. I know not everyone had that, was so unlucky, but that just sucks. Alright, so I'm trying to catch up with everyone here. Yomo, thank you very much. You got a $3 super sticker. I can't see it here, but I can see that you've done it. I do appreciate that. And that is massively appreciated. Definitely helps support the channel. So thank you very, very much. So that would be a super chat super sticker. That was him saying sound. I'm going to spend that on a pint. Thank you. Yomo, very much appreciated. Your support is appreciated. Chuli giving a direct order. Those Terminators are show stealers in your collection, I think. Absolutely, yeah, I completely agree. I like the way I was going to give them just the one shelf treatment, but kind of pose them next to each other, and I was kind of going, I actually do like that. I think they're working quite well. All right, so just got it. Okay, and we got Philip the Fool here. What's up, everyone? All right, so we're going to take a quick look at we'll flick through these images. Okay, full disclosure, I thought this movie was awful, and 2 hours of my life that I'm not getting back. But when I was 16, 17, around that age, Angelina Jolie, she was the girl. I mean, if you saw Tomb Raider, awful film, but But she's just absolutely stunning. Like, I was always a fan, and she's still got it going on because she's pushing on now, and she looks great. She looks phenomenal in this movie. When I saw the prototype of this, I thought, God, it looks really, really good. It looks really like Angelina Jolie, and I'm going to bring up the prototype here because I think a lot less of what we got. And I don't know, I haven't been watching too many live streams. I don't think I watched anything on Thena because I think she was just announced today, released today. Now I'm trying to flick through some of these images here. So I've got Sideshow up here, right? So this is Sideshow. Just gonna flick through some of these images. I want to get a good close-up one. Now when I saw this, I didn't think it was like, if I recall what I said in the video, I didn't think this was like, wow, it's a 10 out of 10 or anything like that, but I could see Angelina Jolie from certain angles. I don't like the way Sideshow does this thing. See if I can get a close-up. Maybe I'm wrong on that. I can see her there. These are the promotional images. These are not the product. These are the prototype images, you would say. Like, so if we just flick on then to what we actually got. Maybe I'm wrong there. Maybe I'm misjudging this. This is like, I flicked through this on Instagram earlier on, but I haven't had a good look at it. Okay, so this is her. This is the actual release images. And if I just flick back then, I think the prototype still has the edge though. So this is the prototype images. And this is the release images. Okay, back again, prototype. And back to the release. I think the sculpted hair is a bit better in the prototype and the likeness is a bit better in the prototype. Whereas the actual release, I'm not really digging that sculpted hair. It really does take me out of it. And considering like their Hot Toys are getting better and better at sculpted hair, I don't think this is their best effort. Very biased though, because this is a movie I didn't appreciate and something I would never consider getting. I don't know. What's your opinion? I'm curious to know what people in the chat think. Am I being overly harsh in this figure? Like, I don't think again, right, this is the prototype. I can definitely see Angelina Jolie in it. I don't think it's like what we call a shrink ray or anything like that. But I can see Angelina Jolie more in the prototype than I can the product. But looking at the prototype now, the sculpted hair isn't great either. I'd imagine this is a very, very small batch. I'll go back again, keep looking at some of these. For the most part, I think they have delivered what the prototype was. But I just think the prototype has the edge there. Because this woman, I'm not seeing Angelina Jolie here. And with the prototype images, I'm not saying that was a 10 either. I don't think it was a 10, a 9. I think it could have been on the 7 or the 8. But this here, I'm really not seeing Angelina Jolie in this. What do you think? I just want to leave this up here. I want to address the chat. So this is Thena from Eternals, 1/6 scale figure from the MCU or whatever, based on the likeness of Angelina Jolie. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? So again, the comparison is this. I want to know what you think, right? I'll try to get a similar looking photo here. Okay, so that is still the product. I just want one final flick, and then this is the prototype. So it's definitely not, the prototype wasn't a slam dunk anyway. But I definitely see a bit of Angelina Jolie here. But then the actual product I see less. Curious to know people's thoughts. And I hope you're not just going to give me the, it's the lighting, it'll look better in hand, it's the aperture. Let's take a look. This comment's interesting. Did you see the 1/3 scale RoboCop that just went up for pre-order on Sideshow? No, I didn't, but I'm gonna. Was it a statue? Because if it's a statue, I'm out automatically. Was it a figure? Who made it? Tell me more, Copper. Good looking out too. Philip the Fool, channel member. What's up, everyone? How are you? Great to. Thanks very much for being here, and thanks very much for your ongoing support as well. No worries, Shane. Thanks for the content. Massively appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you so much. What else we got? It was. I actually haven't seen that movie, but I know it exists. Angelina Jolie is absolute fire, but what happened to this head sculpt for the prototype? Okay, so it's not my imagination then. And to be fair, the prototype isn't mind-blowing either. Like, listen, I know what Angelina Jolie looks like, and I don't think this is necessarily it. Keith, the 6 scale Padawan channel member, thank you very much for being here, and thanks for coming in and saying hello. So, loved Tomb Raider, those slow motion running scenes. Yeah, you're gone off on a tangent there now. I know what you're saying. Yomo's saying the sculpt has softened quite a bit from Proto. The Proto was a lot better. I would tend to agree, yeah. I see MJ. Michael Jackson? Who are you talking about, Ash? Mike's going with the old lighting argument. I don't know. Looks pretty good to me. Could be the lighting on the pics. I haven't been trusting blogger pics lately. Folks, ye are the gift that keeps on giving. Just going to open up my Google Keep and enter into a little update there. For Shit Collector Say episode 6. It's the lighting. Classic. It's the lighting. Okay. The lightness in the Proto was better. Yeah, that's what I think. The Athena release is okay, not horrible, not Hot Toys' best work. I think that is a fair statement. Never watched the movie or film, but it looked boring to me. Yeah, it wasn't great now. Very average figure. Still want it. I appreciate that kind of conviction. Ignore everyone. We're never happy anyway. Now that I'm seeing side by side, the Proto looks better, but it's still Angie to me, so I'm all over it. Yeah, look. Again, I appreciate that type of conviction. If we all like the same thing, it'd be very, very boring. Mike says something about the neck is odd. The neck looks long. I did notice that when I looked at it briefly on Instagram earlier on. It reminded me of the Wonder Woman 1984 with the long neck. The headpiece softened a lot. Nice piece though. Sometimes think about having them and Gilgamesh. They were two of my favourite characters along with Kingo. Could be the lighting. Here we go. It's not wrong when it's the lighting. Hot Toys Athena and Gilgamesh, but not Icarus or Cersei. Okay. Yeah, they're not completing the lines. It looks kind of washed out. Ian saying the actual shape of the sculpt seems to have changed. It's just a bit softer, but the shape has changed. You're saying it's not softer, but the shape has changed. The top half of the face. Yeah. And I have to watch Gaia, apparently. Okay. Late Bloomer, thanks very much for joining us. David is onto something. I can totally see that. It's like a blend between Jolie and Portman. What a beautiful genetic arrangement. But yeah, I can kind of see that. Is her neck ridiculously thin in that pic, or is the lighting? It's either the lighting or the wind. It's hard to tell. Yeah, I think there's actually a bit of a shadow going on here, making it look thinner, to be fair. But I did notice the neck was longer. Yeah, you can see like the neck is still, it's over here. It just looks dark here, so it makes it look a bit thinner. Neck does look long though, to be fair. Michael Jackson. You think she looks like Michael Jackson? No, I don't see that. I don't see that. But I do think you're hilarious. You think it looks like Michael Jackson? I'm not sure where you're going with that. But that's quite funny though. Trevor, how are you doing? What's up? Do you think this looks like Angelina? Are you already ordering it to custom route the hair? Late bloomer, just need the OG Tomb Raider figure. Yeah. That's for the third parties, definitely. Might have realized there... Yeah, there wasn't a lot. Yeah, they probably realized there wasn't a lot of pre-orders. Alright, okay. Alright, I think we're trying to move on. Yeah, look, my conclusion on this is it's just it just doesn't float my boat like it never was going to. I mean, Angelina Jolie is stunning and all that, but not enough to purchase this figure. Just wasn't a fan of the movie. This is like the opposite of a triple threat for me. I didn't particularly like the character. I didn't like the movie. I didn't like this version of the character because it's the only one I knew. And even when I'm saying this version, like, you know, if it was a stunning Angelina Jolie head sculpt, if it like was like a phenomenal one, I still probably wouldn't get it, but there'd be more of a hope then. But I was never getting this. Wasn't a fan at all. Trevor is actually disagreeing with a lot of people, saying I'm not a big fan of the movie, but it looks like her. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it. Yeah, I guess not. I don't think it's a terrible head sculpt or anything, Trevor. I didn't think the prototype was mind blowing either. I did see Angelina Jolie likeness in the prototype, but there's definitely has been softening done. But the problem is you need to put your glasses on so you can see what I'm seeing. I don't know. I think you're overwhelmingly outnumbered on this one, but. You could be right, art is subjective and all that, but look, I'm going to move on to the next one now. So, alright, so let's move on to another figure that I'm not going to get. So, we'll go, what did we say, Doc and Marty, Doc. Go Doc. Instantly, I think the outfit on Doc is pretty damn cool. Look, when it comes to Back to the Future, it wasn't a movie that I grew up with. Like, I saw them multiple times when I was young, but it wasn't one that, like, you know, I wore out the VHS tape was. Like, I mean, for me, like, I had the first two Terminator movies, the only two Terminator movies on repeat. I watched 1989 and 1992 Batman a lot, the first two 80 movies, even the third one to some extent, the first two RoboCop movies, and then even when I got a bit older, like, you know, obviously original trilogy and stuff like that. And in my teenage years, then we kind of like watched Fight Club a lot, watched The Matrix a lot, you know. So there was kind of like, there are certain movies, Back to the Future and Indiana Jones actually, they were movies I've seen multiple times. They're always on TV at Christmas, stuff like that. But I never really felt the need to collect anything from them, or they just didn't sit with me as well as, like, say, I just didn't like them as much as, say, you know, Terminator, Alien, Predator, you know, The Matrix, original trilogy, Star Wars, stuff like that, or, you know, Batman movies. But I still appreciate them. They're undeniable. One of the best trilogies out there. It's you know, like pop culture royalty, cinematic royalty. You know, iconic movies, definitely iconic at this stage. They've stood the test of time, which is not a pun. Alright, so let's take a look at Doc. First thing in this picture here is I actually really like the outfit. I thought they've done quite well with his kind of the tailoring on it, and his kind of physique and stuff like that. And you know, he is quite I think he's quite tall. I don't know if Christopher Lloyd is tall, or is he just tall because he looks tall because he's next to Marty McFly all the time, or, you know, that's Michael J. Fox. But I think they've got the height difference quite well here, but I'm not an expert in this particular movie. I've also seen that these clocks in the background, you can get them, custom makers are making them now, 1/6 scale clocks. I wonder, are they just like finding some like cheap place that, you know, a Home Depot place that sells clocks, and they just happen to look exactly like this, and they're on sale for like $3.99. They're buying every single one of them and selling them for $100, marketing them as 6 scale clocks. I hope they're not doing that, but yeah, I've seen people like, you can get these clocks. The hair kind of takes me out. First of all, look, these are some of these figures that, like, they're like the RoboCop that they announced last year, or the Indiana Jones that they announced today. Like they're movies from, I suppose, they're figures from classic movies, or I suppose the Indiana Jones is from a classic IP. It's not the original trilogy one, but they're kind of ones a bit more out of left field. They're not just Marvel, Star Wars, DC. Okay, so like things like, you know, the aforementioned ones, your DeLorean, your Back to the Future figures, your RoboCop, things like that, like your Johnny Silverhand and stuff like that, are just a bit more out of left field. First thing I'm drawn to, really like the gun. Always thought it was cool. Like, people must have been looking at him, why is he having this funny rifle, like with this futuristic piece on top? I thought he was trying to hide, but I suppose then again, wasn't he like a scientist, inventor? That's how he's passing himself off. But yeah, so first impressions, I think it looks good. I like the gun and accessories. I like the even like the outfit, and even see all these little, like, is it changes pocket watch or something like that. The belt as well. I assume the belt is pleather. The hair is, you know, very obviously sculpted here though. I know it was sculpted hair. I'm not sure if the hat's removable. Was it removable? I don't think it is removable, but please correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section. I love figures with long coats like that. You know, if you take like figures with long coats like that, or trench coats, are just cool. I mean, think about how many movies where the characters or main group wear trench coats, right? Deckard from Blade Runner. Is it the character Joe from Blade Runner? What's it, 2049 or 2149 or whatever? For some reason, I love that movie, but I always forget the actual title of Blade Runner 2. 2049? 2049, is it? I've asked this before on streams, but yeah, good movie. But my point is, the character, Ryan Gosling's character, has just a long trench coat. Looks cool. You take like Neo from the first Matrix movie, from the lobby scene, Endor Han, Michael Bihn's character from the first Terminator movie, or this guy here, or your Nightmare Batman or whatever. Characters with long trench coats, they look cool on screen, and they make great figures. They're really just something cool about them. So just like the general proportions, I think, are good on this. I'm not a Back to the Future expert. I like the long line trench coat, and even like just the detail on the belt and stuff like that. This, I presume, is changed for his pocket watch, the waistcoat, all the layering, but yet it doesn't look puffed up. So I think there's credit due for that. Hat definitely looks a bit plasticky. I don't think it's leather. Probably would have heard about it if it was. The thing about this, there's something about the faces here. Like, I can see Christopher Lloyd here, and I can see what they're getting at with Michael J. Fox. They do look plasticky. I get that they're toys. I get that they're action figures. I get that they're collectibles. I get that they're made out of plastic. Fine. But they should look like they're not. You know, there should be a bit more of the paint apps, whatever, where they don't. So I don't think this is the best Michael J. Fox. I don't think this is the best Doc. But I think that could potentially be down to the expressions. But look, that's just my 2 cents. Like, that looks a bit ridiculous now, to be fair. They're on a horse. They look like they've just seen a ghost. And this guy's chest is huge. Is that because the metal thing is underneath? He looks buffed out of it. Like, he reminds me of Robert Paulson from Fight Club. If you know, you know. That's cool where you get the two. You must get the two jackets, the long kind of trench coat, and then you got this shorter one. Sits very well. The proportions look good. Like the inclusion of the dicky bow, the pocket watch. Like, if you're a Back to the Future fan, you're all in on these. It doesn't matter what anyone says, and it shouldn't matter what anyone says. I think the hat though lacks. Does the hat lack a bit of detail? Again, I've seen the movie multiple times, but this looks a bit plasticky to me. It would look very smooth, but maybe that's just the way it is. But yeah, the hair kind of takes me a bit out of it here. But I think the head sculpt looks actually alright. It's just maybe the expression or something. But look, it won't matter if you're a Back to the Future fan, you'll be all in this anyway. That's a cool shot. Yeah, that looks good. The expression seems a bit more, kind of works with that pose a bit more. He looks like he's about to say Great Scott there. Just going to address the chat real quick. They sucked all the joy out of these characters with these sculpts. Yeah. Not for me. The tailoring looks great on Doc, but not a fan of Back to the Future 3. Back to the Future when Quakers go bad. That's funny. Oh, these guys, look at the neck. There isn't one. The head sculpt is softened on these. What else? Where's Mad Dog Tannen? Yeah, it's funny everyone, like Back to the Future fans have been kind of wanting a Mad Dog Tannen or just a Biff figure for the longest time, but I don't think any third parties have done them, and I don't think Hot Toys have never done them as far as I know. So I suppose that's one of those ones when we go, must be a licensing issue. But maybe it is, who knows. Mentioned on another stream that Doc's hair looks like a shuttlecock. It's all I can see, sadly. Clothing is quite good. So I think, yeah, proportions and the clothing and the accessories and the little details of the trump cards here. And I don't think the sculpts are bad either. I just don't think they're Hot Toys' finest. And he's pretty tall, yeah. And next to Marty, like, he's probably looking extra tall as well. I have an antique clock I could use, but unfortunately, I won't be picking these up. I'm a little salty about the Angie criticism. Look, again, we can't like everything. It's funny. Getting these two guys getting their butts kicked by old man Logan. That's funny. 2049. Do you know why it always throws me, Ryan? Because it's 2023 now. So 2049 is 26 years away. And I'm just not seeing the flying cars thing happening. So it seems if it was 2149, maybe that's more apt. But then again, how many times, like, we're looking at this movie, how many dates in this movie were mentioned, and like, I think what time did they go to, what year did they go to in Back to the Future 2? Anyone know that? Because, like, you know, it's some of the stuff that was there, the hoverboards and stuff like that, that's quite funny. Like, who do we got? Keith, channel member, the 6 scale Padawan, giving you a direct order. Hit the like button. Thank you, Keith. It's good that Hot Toys are releasing figures more this summer, but it's not good for the wallets. Absolutely. I'm sure we have all those exclusives and toy fairs coming up as well. San Diego Comic Con and all that kind of stuff. Maybe Doc and Marty would look good in different lighting. Yeah, maybe they would. Maybe they would. In the dark, maybe. No, come on. No, it's fair. That's harsh. They're Back to the Future fans are going to love these. Again, I don't think the head sculpts are particularly bad. I can see where they're going, but it's just not Hot Toys' best work, I'll say. What's up, Evil Sneaker? Thanks very much for being here. Mars Toys did a Biff not too long ago. Good stuff. Thanks for keeping me honest. I did not realize that. Okay, I think we're going to take a quick look at Marty before we take a look at Indy. Okay, so now we have Marty. Okay, so Back to the Future 3 Marty. Obviously by Hot Toys, obviously 1/6 scale, and based on likeness of Michael J. Fox. I think the Back to the Future one is... I think if I was collecting Back to the Future, I'd be getting the DeLorean and maybe working backwards and getting those Back to the Future 2 versions. I think that would be it, but big commitment because, you know, what's the DeLorean going to cost you trying to get it over to Ireland? You're probably talking $1,000. You'd be doing well to get it for 800, I'd say, 900. Alright, so what's he coming? You got this poncho. You got this, it's like the front of a grate or range or something like that. Got the kind of twine or rope tied on. Again, his hat, I don't think the hats are removable. And yeah, I can see where they're going with this. I can see Michael J. Fox, but he looks even fresher. It looks, his face look even smoother than he was. I know he was really young back then, but something about the face, I think it's actually just that it looks a bit plasticky like. And I know that they're made of plastic. That might seem like a silly thing to say, but it's not really. A lot of time they put the texture in, you forget that it's plastic. But yeah, it's obviously sculpted hair there, and his hat, I think that hat is non-removable. So you take off the poncho and just have, you know, it's kind of brown pants, kind of I presume a brown leather belt, a shirt. Got this revolver. I remember to say, is this like a, what is this? Is this some sort of a plate? Is this like a dog bowl or something he picks up? I can't remember what. I remember him doing it, but I can't remember. He throws it at someone like a frisbee. I can't remember exactly what this is. It looks like a bowl that a dog would drink out of. I think the expressions is what throws me off on these two figures, because there's a lot of good here. I think the proportions are right. The height difference seems about right. A lot of the detailing in the outfit and the tailoring the outfit and the little touches seem right. I think maybe it's just the expressions. Like, that looks pretty good. I can see Michael J. Fox there. Yeah, so those hats can't come off then. That's a cool pose though. I like that. I like that. Very cool. That one's great too. And the expressions, I think what it is a pose like this is apt for the expression. Whereas when they were on the horse with these two expressions next to each other, it was quite funny looking. Even that pose to some extent. But here, like, I don't think the pose or the expression suits the pose there. But that's down to your own, like, your own posing and making it work right. Sure, even when I got Ahsoka there, like the pose I have her in now, it's not right. Like, I need to futz with it a bit before I get it right. Yeah, again, look, I'm not the biggest fan of Back to the Future. I don't collect Back to the Future. I think there's a lot of strength here. There's a lot of good stuff in here. I think maybe the expressions are what kind of throws me off on this. So, but I'm definitely a bit biased because I was never going to get these anyway. But I'd say if I was a Back to the Future fan, I'd be delighted to have these. Mike says, seriously though, I do like Marty, but he needs the poncho in my opinion. He looks a bit Amish with just the hat and the shirt look. Yeah, I like the poncho. Even like Ahsoka, I know obviously completely different things, but I like the ponchos. Could always use a 1/6 scale poncho. I tell you, two poncho characters I have. The cable poncho is a bloody good accessory. It sits really well. It hangs really well, drapes really well. The hood's the right size. You can have it up or down. It doesn't look weird. Magnetic feature on it and a wire. Pretty cool. And you could call Ahsoka's a robe, but I think Ahsoka's, it's more like a poncho than a Jedi robe. Yeah, and are you, William Owens, thanks very much for being here. Are you a bit disappointed in him? Is that just what you're thinking yourself? Would have been a nice touch if the plate was die cast. Clint Eastwood looks cool. And for me, the movie was not so good. Cool. All right. Okay, I want to check out this RoboCop that someone mentioned in the chat there. Let's see if I can find it. He said it was on Sideshow. Ah, it's a statue. It's a statue. Right. I just want to share this tab. So I can't remember who said it. Was it Tragedy Tales? So this one, the bottom is the Hot Toys one. This one is by someone else. And then you got 2 1/3 scale statues. Actually, let's take a look at this one first. It's only 500 of this. Oh, what is this? A statue by Oniri Creations. Okay, so I presume the one you're talking about is one of these ones. Interesting. What's the difference between 2 of these? So is this the one you're talking about? PCS? Okay. First thing I'm noticing there is I'm not convinced that that doesn't look like Peter Weller to me. Maybe I'm being really harsh on this. Alright, let's see if we get a close one. Kind of looks a bit better there. See, the biggest thing I have in my collection is 1/4 scale. 3rd scale must be enormous. And I just don't collect statues, and I have no intention of doing it. I think everything looks cool about this, but I'm not fully sold on the mouth plate. From that angle, maybe it looks a bit better. Because I have to say, even though I've got the 6 scale one from the original, the one with the chair, you know, and even though the mouth plates are tiny, they do look like Peter Weller. In fairness though, like the presence this would have, a 1/3 scale RoboCop statue, the OCP base, yeah, this is one I admire from afar. Yeah, that's that's going to be an absolute unit, like. All right, let's take a look at Indy. This was a good shock. All right, so what are people saying? These are supporting actors for the Harrison Ford movie. Witness. All right, so we've got that's not the newer version of RoboCop, is it? By the way, did you have any thought on the remake? The remake, I watched it once. If I watch a movie once, it's not a good sign. So no. I like the guy though, the dude who played the RoboCop. Wasn't a fan of the movie, but I like the dude who played RoboCop because I've seen him in a few other things. He was in some series on Netflix there about 10 years ago. It was quite good. I know he was in Suicide Squad, but I didn't like that. The Hot Toys mouth plate looks better. I think so, yeah. This Indiana is spectacular. Hope this increases our chances of getting a Han Solo now as well. This is the thing, like, I mean, anyone who was kind of saying that Harrison Ford doesn't give away his likeness now has been essentially disproved. And I don't know how it works, so I'm not going to tell you, like, you know, like I have theories about how it works, but that's all they are. So I don't know what the hell is going on with that. I don't know. So maybe they have the license for Indy, but they don't have the license for Star Wars. I don't know. But yeah, look, it's, again, it would be a welcome surprise if they decided after all this time to do a Bespin Han, or an Endor Han, or any type of Han from original trilogy. And I think people would be less surprised now after seeing this. I think that's a fair enough statement to make. So what does this guy come with? Let's take a look at everything this lad comes with. I kind of want to go see this movie tomorrow. Yeah, Indiana Jones kind of falls into the same bracket for me as Back to the Future. Seen the movies when I was a kid, seen them multiple times, but it wasn't something I lived for. It wasn't like something like, you know, like I said about the aforementioned movies, the likes of RoboCop 1 and 2, Terminator 1 and 2, Alien 1 and 2, the likes of the Matrix, original trilogy, Star Wars, stuff like that. But like, I did enjoy the movies, and I still enjoy the movies, and every now and then I go back to them and rewatch them again, and, you know, yada yada. This is one, I think, like, this is just like a welcome announcement. So let's just take a look at everything that he comes with, because I think this is quite impressive, right? There's a lot of stuff. So 2 styles of figure-based display. You can display it this way on the front with this kind of like pole on the left front corner, and you have the Indiana Jones logo. Or you can flip it around, not see the logo, and have a bit more of a natural look. You've got this kind of like a pole with a kind of ripped, broken rope tied around it. You've got, it's like, I suppose this is like a ladder bridge, really, essentially a rope ladder bridge, which has broken down. That's down as well. And then the Indiana Jones logo printed into the front, or etched into the front. Separate rolling eyeballs function. A fantastic head sculpt of a modern day, I would say Han Solo, a modern day Harrison Ford. I think the dude's about 80 years of age now. He's old, yes. It's sculpted on the likeness of Harrison Ford. Now, they've nailed it. This is an amazing head sculpt. Like, amazing head sculpt. Very, very impressed with this. I mean, if you've watched Yellowstone, like, you'll see how old he is. And Yellowstone's probably made, what was it? Yellowstone, not Yellowstone, talking about 1923, sorry, the prequel to Yellowstone. You've got, like, is it 1883, 1923, then Yellowstone. So he is in 1923. And, like, you to see him, like, so I hadn't really seen him in anything recently, and I saw that, and I was like, God, he is looking shook. He's old looking, but like, he's 80. Of course he's going to look old looking. Probably looks better than a lot of 80-year-olds, to be quite honest, though. Genuine leather jacket, shoes, and whip. So not just the jacket, the shoes and whip. The hat is removable, but it doesn't say that the hat is leather, so that the jacket is genuine leather. Kind of like, I suppose they're doing this now. They did this, I think the DX10 Terminator was genuine leather. Unfortunately, the DX13 I have is not, but I haven't had any peeling issues or anything yet. So this genuine leather jacket, like Days of Future Past Wolverine as well, shoes and whip, but the hat, what would the hat be made out of anyway? The hat probably wouldn't be made out of leather anyway in the movie, I'd imagine. I'm not sure. Anyone know, is this hat in the movie meant to be leather? I'm not sure it'd be made of. It wouldn't be a thing, I don't think. But that satchel, I believe that satchel, the strap of the satchel is going to be pleather. I hope they made it out of leather, but if they did made it out of leather, they'd probably include it in the list here. But that strap, I think, in previous version has peeled, so this could be the same. LED light up torch. Is this thing, I presume this thing, is this the Dial of Destiny then, this thing? Looks like a Hot Toys base, has the hexagon look to it. A bunch of swap out hands. You got a tie as well. This is an exciting, even though it's not something I'm going to pick up, this is a very exciting release. And yeah, it does give people hope for your Endor hand or your Bespin hand, or maybe a New Hope hand. But again, I don't know how to license, I don't know the ins and outs of the licensing. Like, I do presume that, like, if someone's likeness is licensed out, that, you know, they have to have, like, I don't know, Lucasfilm have to sign off on it, Harrison Ford has to sign off on it, you know, at the very least. But maybe it's not just a case Hot Toys gets Harrison Ford's license, they have to get Harrison Ford's license for that particular movie or that particular IP, and so on. So maybe they have it for this movie, or maybe they have it for the saga, or maybe they have it for this Indiana Jones saga and the Star Wars trilogy stuff as well. They just have chose not to do it for whatever reason. Now, I think a lot of people are hoping, because as far as I know, like, I haven't seen the movie, but I mean, it's no secret that, you know, they use de-aging technology and they do flashbacks. I'm really hoping for those diehard Indiana Jones fans and collectors in the community that they surprise everyone and give a flashback version as well, which kind of, you know, looks like something from the Raiders of the Lost Ark or Last Crusade or something like that, because then you keep everyone happy. Well, you won't, but more people would be happy. Just going to flick through some of these images after I adjust the chat. So Old Indy, not for me. Figure looks amazing. Yeah, I just think it looks amazing. Like young Indy wouldn't be for me, to be honest. Just not something I collect. But I still think this is amazing looking. Like the head sculpt, the leather parts, the bunch of accessories, the base. I just think there's a lot of potential here. I think it looks really cool. And probably people are going to get this and then get a custom head for a DH version, whether they Hot Toys does it or not. Indy's a dopo if it gets onto Sideshow. Head sculpt's a 10 out of 10. It's a very strong head sculpt, yeah. Seeing the movie tomorrow, good stuff. Ryan Smith says, again, channel member, shout out to you. If they don't give us a young Indy, I would probably buy a head sculpt and mod this. Yeah, just literally just said that, yeah. I get that. I thought the hat... No, I don't think it is removable. Yeah, I don't think it is removable. They would have shown it in the photo as well, but I don't think it's removable. Which is better out of interest, Forced Awakens sculpt or this sculpt? I think this sculpt's better, to be honest. And again, that's just my own opinion. An Indy figure is a must-have. Love these films growing up. Yeah, a lot of people are going to fall into the category, but a lot of people are going to fall into the category that they want the original trilogy ones. Does this come with insurance just in case you run into Harrison Ford and he rips up your figure in half? Yeah, it definitely does. Only through Sideshow and reputable Hong Kong resellers though. Thought you said something else. I'd say this one. Yeah, okay. Alright, let's flick through a few of these images. Oh, there's two different SKUs as well. So basically everything you see on the screen is the deluxe version, and then the regular version doesn't come with the stuff in the red box here. So the stuff in the basically the fancy base. I think the other version just comes with like a hexagon base or something. Yeah, like there's a lot to like here. I mean, the head sculpt, the proportions, like the hat looks great. The leather jacket, like that, I mean, just like Days of Future Past Wolverine, like that's a lovely touch. Like that they're actually giving us genuine leather parts and not pleather that could deteriorate depending on your area and your climate and all that kind of stuff. You know, and the genuine leather whip as well, and the shoes as well. I like the satchel, even though it is pleather. You might have issues with that, but there's going to be customizers out there. You shouldn't have to do it, but if it isn't leather and it doesn't look like it's leather because they would have said it's leather. But there was another figure recently that actually had a leather part in it and wasn't advertised as leather. I can't remember what it was. I think it was one of the Bad Batch. So here you've got the LED light up torch as well. Nice touch. I mean, how good does that look? And it does, you know, it does look like a 1/6 scale, you know, human being as opposed to like a figure. So this whip, I'm guessing this is wired then, so you can do something like that. Like, look at that. Like, this is a figure you can pose with a lot of accessories, but you're not forcing it. So he's got his coat on, he's got his tie on, his hat, he's got a bag in his back with what's a rope or something like that. You got a satchel as well, the whip, and then there's a lot incorporated here. Very cool. That head sculpt's on point. Yeah, that's a head sculpt that can afford to soften and still look good, but hopefully it won't soften, but we know how that goes. Genuine leather jacket, shoes, and whip. Excellent. So I think the detail on the shoes. Just zooming in on this, seeing the detail on the head sculpt, seeing the detail on the, is that the whip there, or is it the rope or whatever? Yeah, it must be a whip. And then the stitching and stuff in the shoes as well. That's pretty remarkable. Yeah, I can see why people are excited for this. Even though like I'm not going to get it, I still looked at it and went, yeah, something different. It's not Star Wars, it's not DC, it's not Marvel. Genuine leather parts, fantastic head sculpt. The movie's not getting great reviews, but I'm going to see it anyway. It's an event movie. You know, it's like a big deal. Like, it's like going to see a, you know, a new Batman movie or a new Star Wars movie or a new Bond film. You know, it's part of a franchise that's, you know, very well loved. Like, well, the original trilogy anyway. I know Crystal Skull fell flat for a lot of people. Oh, this is cool. That's like a pliers or something like that. Is this like a rope ladder or whatever? It's just a rope, just this wooden part here, looks. Separate rolling eyebus function as well. when I saw this, I was thinking, what, does he come with shorts as well? People are not going to like those joints. But then I realized, they're just actually showing what's underneath this. I was like, oh, okay, that's fair enough. Yeah, this is a simple, very, very simple, but an innovative solution as well. I actually quite like magnet bases. I quite like the inert one. I haven't had any issues with it. But then again, if I was one of the collectors who bought it and had issues with it, maybe I think differently. But I like this. And as well, even if this scratches the leg, you're not going to see it. So that's pretty cool. Very, very simple. Yeah, I think that's why there's a photo. That's why this photo looks well. Another reason, okay, there's multiple reasons why this photo looks well, from the head sculpt to the outfit to the leather parts to the base. But another little touch is the fact that you can't see some awkward crotch grabber or waist grabber taking you out of it. So yeah, I think a lot of people are going to go deluxe on this. Very impressive stuff. Focus, I asked BC this question, who's that, brother cousins, and wanted to get your take. You think that whip will be wired? It looks wired. Is it not in the description? We just take a look at the description and see. I presume people have already done. That would be the first thing that I would do. His signature tools as a whip recreated in genuine leather. Doesn't say anything about the wiring, and I don't think it's up on Sideshow yet. Sideshow take a few days to do these things. Let's have a quick look on Sideshow and see. Quick look, and see if I can see. I'll take a quick look on Sideshow and just see. He's not up yet. Usually if you click Sideshow, it will just show you what's new. Doesn't want to do that now. No. Just go Hot Toys on this. Okay, let's see if we can see. Maybe they've added it. Newest. No. I haven't added it yet. That'll be the place to see it though, because in the details, and they give you details on wired capes and all that kind of stuff, like so. See you, Philip. Thanks very much for tuning in. Philip saying hit the like button. Good stuff. It's just the way they have the whip in some of those shots that makes me wonder. I hope they have, but yeah. Again, we'll have to wait and see. Folks, that's pretty much me done now. I'm out of here. Just wanted to keep it short and sweet because I didn't get a chance to make videos this week. So thanks very much to the people who've taken the time out of your day to watch this, or people watching on the replay. Make sure you like it if you like the content. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. Big shout out to all the channel members, troopers and commanders. And if you want to consider being a channel member, there's a link pinned in the description, and all the perks and additional exclusive features of being a trooper or commander are explained on the community tab of the YouTube. So yeah, massive appreciation, and yeah, we're out of here. So thanks folks, good luck.